one of the things that we really want to address in this workshop is transparency and accountability. And so thinking about all of the topics that we've kind of talked about to bring it to a head, what do you think are the most successful ways or the best strategies for establishing transparency, and how important is that?
Okay. You, if you want this to go in a different direction, let me know. But I think what I'm going to talk about first of all is transparency in your communication strategy.
Yes.
And then if you have ideas and just
Okay.
transparency in public policy, we can talk about that also.
Okay.
But there's a quick little acronym that I think helps people when you're thinking about transparency in your communications strategy. Just think of the acronym HOP, like a bunny rabbit hops. And those will give you the 3 fundamental rules for transparency in communications strategies. H means you're honest. You never, and I mean never, lie to a reporter. Because as the acronym goes, the old saying, it's not an acronym, the old saying is, you never lie to people who buy ink by the barrel and paper by the ream, right?
Right.
You will be exposed at some point because they have every resource. And now if you think about electronically, it doesn't even cost them the cost of producing a newspaper. So it is the ultimate caution in communication strategy. H, honest, never lie. O means you're open. And that really goes to this key of transparency. That's more than being honest, but that you are transparent and open about the details. If you're trying, you can be honest, but not telling the entire story, right? Eventually that's going to get exposed. So the more open you are in trying to communicate your ideas.
Can it also be open to the idea that your idea might not be as great as you think it is?
You better be open to that idea. I mean, otherwise people are going to see your stubbornness. It's going to be exposed through the process. There's no perfect policy, there's no perfect idea. We should all be open to learning new things about our policy, even learning that perhaps the public didn't receive that as you had anticipated. And being prepared to acknowledge that. It will make you a better leader, I think. It will make your image, and an image is very real. It's not manufactured. Unless you make and you create a manufactured image. The more open and transparent you are, I think the better regard people are going to have for not only this idea, but probably more importantly, your future ideas. If you can build a level of trust with people initially, then you enhance your chances of repeating that at some point in the future. And the last letter in our little acronym, H, honest, open, P is prompt. It's really important, even in today when we rely a great deal on social media. If you tell people or the press that you're going to do something at a certain time, whether it's I'll get back to you with more details about that, or I have a deadline at 5 o'clock, or I'm going to be in this parade on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Be prompt and do. It just speaks to this whole issue of honesty. You're not lying if you say you're going to do something at 11 o'clock and you don't do it until 11:35. But you begin to sort of chip away at your credibility. If you tell people you're going to do something, then be prompt in its delivery. Do the thing that you said you would do when you said you would do it.
You talked about dressing up the pig, and I think that's kind of part of it. You make your whole program look more professional.
Absolutely.
By being prompt and organized.
Everything that one does contributes to the image that the public has of that the image that you are building of it. And if you're not prompt, you start to take on the image of being sloppy, late, not forthcoming. you can all see how these little things, that's why I think it fits sort of nicely where in the acronym HOP.
Yeah.
The P is it's not as major as the H, but if you're not prompt, it causes these other things. People then start to question, I wonder how open they are. And if they start to wonder how open you are, if you haven't been forthcoming with all the details, ultimately it's going to kick into that first letter, your honesty.
Right.
And if people think you've lied to them, it's virtually impossible then to be successful. It's hard to rebuild that public trust.
In terms of kind of, I know, thinking about